Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Maybe be a wo biara me chiachia wo. Ene me share mo bo. Yaba be sua ade. We are coming to learn about humanity. Me fa ne say the asase we sesa emu nipa enyini eye di ade. Nsakraye ye di ade. Eden na de nsakraye ba. Eden na Africa for yen de yaka ekire ewo ho. Human race no enyini no na eneye said ye amamre fa kura no eya na esesa. Africa, do we lack to be challenged? Do we lack the ability to be challenged? Osha ne ekoso wo Ghana. Ensakraya eba yen amambuomu esese nsakraya bi ba nanso African man only ability to stand challenging ti ama nsakraya no aye den te se de ye tu dodo mu sen ena me ni Dr. Sogah ba be di nkomo e de na Africa ni wayera waka chire ewo ho ewiase ewo eniama bebre asese nipa dasani sua ho niama na wodi sina asase we so wa ho tom onyankopon akyeye niama bebre na it is up to you to learn. Are we willing to learn? Ghana nie yensua de efie akodu amembuom yen penfo a omo ejina yen mayenim omo nsua de se ote ofri Ghana na se go into different community ya na ubete ne ayekan yase yen penfo na nsua omo ama omo ho kwan for adesua asase na ewo Ghana no wo papa ye Jesus baaye no ne botaye se obeye ne papa adwuma obeye ne papa adwuma ye den obeye great things odi asase be ma asase e pagya ejina ho na osi ewiase nyina edi ono nyankopon wadanse e unim wo papa adwuma odi gya awo Ghana asase na da ho no amma Ghana no amma na ye de atu Ghana so no e de na ye de ye amma oyoba mother nature. How do we handle Africa? How are we handling from Yenfio? This is a self way, self way. We are building ourselves. Minya brabesia de share video no. Me the Dr. Sogah back studio na studio ana wabe chire ye bedi nkomo suye bi no kure ni nyame anim ni. There are way programs wa manonia enipa kotua sika ekohwe obi ti se Dr. Sogah opese ni own personal life no obe improve wom Ghana for ye ni sa de ni binti yan ware egugu ye nim ye papa ebotaye Ghana eni Ghana no many families came together to form Ghana. Do we know what their purpose of resting and settling in Ghana were? Unimu wo papa adwuma eno ena me ne Dr. Sogah ye ba bedi hu. Do you believe say tete aware eno na eye wo mu ana ye say mete e wo mabunu bebre ya no president bedi ma bebre kura na so be ye adwuma ke obetimi akasa ne ye na bom ubetimi. How can a sum any ohan eko ebo omumbo but ye can sum masam na ye de epese e de fra ohan? Are we behind as Africans? I am telling you, we are so behind. And now babe suade share the video no na enko actually. Let me introduce Dr. Sogah to all of you. Dr. Sogah Kwaba.
Yeah, na pompisai.
Boko
Kasa ya chekakra.
I check and people are, and kofa ajo afa wo na wo wisdom ni bibra Ghana be a wo free. na
Yes.
Ghana for nso enya wo ho mfaso.
Right.
Doc, anɔpɛ yi deɛ yɛdi nkɔmmɔ yɛsua deɛ me mepa adesua. That's why I speak to people like yourselves and to learn to tap into your knowledge and your understanding of how things works. Mete sɛ Ghanafoɔ bebree ɔmo ka nneyɛɛ bi a tetefoɔ de bɔ ɔbra a ɔmo hwe ase na ɔmo aka bɔ suban pa ho sɛ oh sɛ president no koraa bɛ obɛdi mmaa bebrebe koraa mpo anaasɛ aware dodoɔ ɔbɛware dodoɔ mpo na sɛ ɔbɛyɛ adwuma no a ɔmo de ɔmo mfa ho. Does that sound good to you, knowing the country we live in? And then if you can go further into explaining what a husband means and what a wife means. Because Ghana for understanding of husband and a wife, and they say, only obaye bomu na mo ye soko soko. Eno ano no. Na mo awowo mma bebree egu ho. Me pa ocho. What do you think about that narration of Ghanaians?
ɛyɛ awerɛho sɛ yɛnim ade pa nanso no yɛmpɛ kwan a yɛmfa kwan a yɛbɛtumi afa so a ade pa no ɛbɛba mu ama yɛ. How sɛ wobɛ expect sɛ sɛbio obi a wɔdi ɔman so na ne personal character ɛberɛ a wɔbɔ no ɛnyɛ papa nanso sɛ ɔbu ɔman no yie a na it's okay. Na sɛ wabrabɔ nyɛ papa a woyɛ dɛn ebu ɔman na ɔman yɛ yie.
Yeah,
So ɛno no you can't do it. Yɛwɔ asɛm bi sɛ aduaba biara no sɛ aduaba no yɛ frɔmfrɔm a wohwɛ dua no a ɛfiri so ɛna ɛba.
that's right.
Well, you cannot wontumi ɛmfa ɔmanmuo papa ɛmfa mfi obi a ɔnni suban papa ɛwɔ mu. Ɛno nti sɛnea ɛyi na wɔka no adwene a ɛda amanfoɔ tim ɛnnɛ especially yɛman Ghana ɛne Africa man bi mu a kyerɛ sɛ wɔn dwen sɛ yɛsɛ ɔbaa ne bɛrima a ne kyerɛ sɛ ɛno ara ne adeɛ a ebinom deɛ wɔn hwɛ sɛ mewɔ mma mmiɛnsa mewɔ yerenom enum ebi a me ne mma sei na ada ne nyinaa no ɛkutia nipadua no na yɛsi ɛka se ɔyere ne okunu a okay me yɛnyini no me nana ɔno yɛ Anwona side na na me nana bɛma no wɔn frɛ no a ɔse apɛtɔ nyapɛtɔ me fie wura so ho ɛna wo translate ba brɔfo mu a husband na brɔfo no husband no ɛne nkyerɛ sɛ wowɔ yere. Husband no ɛno kyerɛ sɛ woyɛ obi a wohwɛ fie so woyɛ obi a wotete efiefoɔ wohwɛ sɛ biribiara ɛkɔ so yie ɛwɔ fie. Enti ɛna no kora na me ne madamfo bi ɛkasa no wɔ sɛ ne papa sɛsi a wanyini na madamfo no ɔwɔ Germany wɔ sɛ ne papa nyini na sɛsi a no yasma ɔkae wɔ sɛ he has made me the husband of the family because wɔn wɔ afuo ɛna wɔn san wɔ property kakra nti sɛsi a no papa sɛ sɛsi a manyini wo ne me ba bɛmma a wodi anim nti no mede biribiara ahyɛ wo nsa. So now he has made him the husband of the family even though he's not married. So even in current terms some people think that way. Into Okai, and I was so impressed. And I'm saying, I wish you were there with me last week when I was talking about this very issue. Right? He was so surprised. He said he came out to so Becca said, my father has made me the husband of the family. One guy said he has made me marry a woman, or he has made me the husband of the family. So, and I will call agriculture a sad cranoa. there will be a friend of animal husbandry. I don't know. It means it is the care, the breeding, and the protection of animals on the farm. So a person who takes care of the animals on the farm no, is considered the herd's husband.
There's husband.
Herd's husband. And the husband no, and then just wo yire. So that was the and only adwene a na ekuta yɛ mpanyinfoɔ tete no yɛ a me nana wɔka sɛ nyapɛtɔ no kyerɛ sɛ me fie wura ɛnyɛ me kunu ɔbɛma no a meware no no
Okay.
so ho
Okay.
ɛna nso no sɛ obi ba efie obi ɛɛba fie mu a na sɛ ɔyɛ ahɔhoɔ a odi ka bisa sɛ o hwan ne efie wura ɛwɔ ha
Okay.
anwura mu no ɔbɛbisa sɛ mɛka ɛnyɛ apɛtɔ
Mekanye apeto.
hwan ne efie wura ɛwɔ ha.
So, Doc, do you think, say, Africa for yensua de ankwechire and I say the will of our forefathers, yen papa no mo to twist the word and I said their responsibilities, they took advantage of any woman that comes their way. So that is why we've lost our substances because obroni ware yere no mu bebre. Every leader, but obroni plays the role of husband. For example, the president of America or the prime minister ensures that many people who lacks are taken care of, and as the vulnerable. So they stand as a husbands.
Yes.
Do you think in Africa, even as we speak currently, some people has the understanding say, Owari bebre eyeyen Africa for Caesar deben Julius or Sir Julius. Ebe ware ema bebre. Na me sure say yes, ubekai akwa chire we the elite omo musua de akwa chire no will tell you the downfall for marrying a lot. But how can a leader almost say na he diemu eye from? But has time permit us, granted us the understanding to know, say this time the responsibilities are different. And tetenonanka ye a fool a kuyayo into young kolama adamount ye ware baby. And then no a change. Do you think is that why Africa has fallen? Because black man does not want the challenge to study and do research and to take where they are, what they have reached to the next level. Why do you think we fail so badly?
Yeah. And the research in such as tete no na sɛdeɛ na meka ɔpanyin ɛware na sɛ ɔwɔ yerenom bi a mmienu mmiɛnsa ɛnan a ɛnyɛ sɛ ɛma ho denti ɛna wɔwɔ saa ɛma ɛnan ne enum no because ɛbra first number one it is for the purpose of agriculture ɛna afei nso no sɛdeɛ population no na ɛrekɔ no na ebe duru maybe na ɛma ɛdɔɔso asen mɛma enti no ɛno nso no otumi ka sɛ o mpanyinfoɔ ɛma mpanyinfoɔ bebree wɔ hɔ a wɔn nni kunu enti esikafoɔ na ɛwɔ kuro no so no ebi a otumi fa beebi na ɛma mmienu ɛka ne yere ho.
Okay.
The care and support of that of those women. At the same time, no, they also serve. They become part of that family, and they help on the farm to produce. And to share, for instance, Abraham in the Bible say, Abraham no, nan ni yirum be miensa, but his main wife was Sarah.
Sarah, yeah.
Yeah, but nan ni yirum no be mienu miensa. Why? Because now most of them no woman ni they have no home, so he took them in as a servant wife. Now we can say wife. And also interest oba oda okunchire nkwa because we even medical terms when you say midwife midwife no on ne hwan. Midwife no just say anadwusuom sɛ ebia ɔyarefo no ehia mmoa bi a wo na wo sɔre na wakɔ akɔhwɛ saa yarefo. Anything as happen, the midwife is there. Into nursing is a midwifery career, to take care of people who are sick. So especially say be in the middle of the night, from a midwife.
Wife.
So in the middle of the night when they need care, you are there to take care of them. So and into that time wife and husband, and yes, who or ba order which and as who or bema order which no husband or wife. But it's all about caregiving. Very, very important, and the management of the household and the people in your care. And only the most important thing. And I feel so no time abrɔfo yi wɔn baa yɛn man so in the beginning no they came to trade with us. Well, and in the course of trading no wɔn bɛtotɔ yɛn nnuane a yɛwɔ a wɔn nni bi no wɔn bɛtotɔ, but by the time a wɔn bɛduru wɔn kurom no na aduane no bi bebree asɛe.
Okay.
Enti no wɔn afa adwene sɛ daabi yɛne nkurɔfoɔ yi nka so wɔn bɛtumi, because wɔn kuta expertise in agriculture in these areas, we don't. Enti no yeah, we can have an agreement with them instead of say yɛbɛtotɔ wɔn nnuane no. We should do labor trade. They should give us people to come and help us to farm what we need, because yɛbɛtɔ aduane wakɔduru na asɛe. And that was the beginning of that labor trade. Yeah, just say the chiefs and the emperors will give some people to their trading partners to take to Europe to go and help them. So that time no more contracts. Say bia yabema nkrofo be 50 for 2 or 3 years. After the 3 years they return, and then another group will go. Sana no omo yes trade agreement from the mfitiasia no. Into Drew baby na brofo who say, why should we be paying for these people when we can go and just grab them and bring them here? That was when the European plantations started. And then this slavery in the buy. Until they brought guns and things to basically capture our emperors and kings, ship them off to an island called Seychelles, and then use the guns to basically amass all of our men, capture many of our African men, more than 15 million. Back in about 700 years ago, there were 15 million was a lot of people for the continent. Can you imagine? And a 15 million, this is the number that has been accounted for. Now, one more sure what pursuing in Akron is not counted. What happens then? Now, I feel so no. Abrofo no a wɔn buy on betena hɔ a wɔn yɛ slave trade no, what were they doing? They were exploiting our women. Now wɔn sabi o, wɔn fire ma by heart. Say akɔma sɛ mpanyinfoɔ na no wɔn ɛhwɛ ɔman so na wɔn bu ɔman a ɔman no ɛkɔ anim no. Sɛ abrofo no buy no, we were not living in the jungle or in huts and we were living in towns and cities before they came. Yeah, just say we have engineers, we have masons, we had astrologers, we had traditional scientists. Yeah, their offices and things that they were working. And then Oko France in the museum, you go to the African section, you will see a lot of evidence. I actually say back about 1,000 years ago, now the West Africa, now it was a very vibrant territory. Yeah, we were very civilized. Now abrofune baye and they saw what we had and they saw say yeah in Africa we were not near in we were very hospitable people. I till today we still have that sense of hospitality to our home. And one more about who said, these people, we can really find a way to take advantage of them. So they did. And a lot of African archaeologists and historians We are fighting them. Yes, it's here no France, Germany, England, Portugal, Sweden, and all those European countries. They've agreed to return to us some of the ancient artifacts that they stole from us from 1200 years ago, because these were sculptures and artifacts that shows that we had medical doctors, traditional medical doctors, we had engineers, we had masons. Most of the architecture in Neo Europe, they copied it all from Africa.
So, so, so can I ask a question?
I don't want to lose that trend. Just hold it.
Okay. Okay.
And I feel so apart from that, so they raped a lot of our women, and then they oppressed us after shipping all our kings away. And I feel omudi and so now I feel slavery and they see a woman decided say, okay, if we cannot take them as slaves anymore, let's now take their land. And so they made a pact, and in 1840s, to come and split the continent into territories for themselves, and Wamabe colonize it. And then they were continuing to take advantage of our women. And now Omoka say, oh, Europeans, they only keep one wife. With some Bonia Womabe di our Africa, you know, raping our women near them. What a child sees is what he learns. And the way a woman who said, Abrofuna Womabe di no, this was their lifestyle. Uh, Last me call Sra Elmina Casa. Asɔredan ɛwɔ soro, na governor ɔwɔ ɛyɛ friend ne sɛn, ne dan ɛwɔ asɔredan no nkyɛn, na mmaa bɛ ɛnan wɔn mu gu ne mpa so, nso na asɔre ɛwɔ next door, the same person. Enti what they say, monkey see monkey do. Enti bra ye fight it after we fought for so-called independence, for them to go away. What did we have left? Because yɛn nananom mpanyinfoɔ a na nka wɔn ɛkyerɛ yɛ adeɛ no, bebree na have been taken away, from us. Nti na aka mmaa bebree ɛna nkɔkorɔwa a sɛbisɛbi wɔn tam aso a wɔn ewuo. Nti the young ones that were coming up, what they see, nea wɔn ho sɛ aborɔfo no ɛyɛ as a way of oppression no. That's what became now the standard for ruling. And our educational system is on the ban. Woman farm to say Oma Boyen ama yakwenemo. Into first, there was no secondary school. There was only up to 6 and 7. Ubi and 7. Near Mawajumaya. Now, training college crown, they were very only the missionaries, Christian missionaries, woman ashas here at the training college, Abba, Africa. Now, colonial masters, they never set up anything like training colleges.
So no,
that's who a civil servant.
And no, so my question is that these are history.
Yeah.
Where do we pick up and
okay
and
so I'm coming there now.
Yeah.
Into all of that, has happened. But Nyampesa Mitrani said, when you have about 500 years of oppressive governance, that's all you know. And that's where your mentality comes from. But and then things are changing. And then we've come to know, say, this was not the way we were before. And then we have found out through historical research now to find out, say, our ancestors were actually better governors than, even the Europeans were before. But because of, unfortunately, the oppressive, inherited, our mindset, it doesn't go along with who we used to be before. Sunday not last work sankofa philosophy na near kuta from the beginning. And only idea in here, I see a sign near kofa, and yan sanwa, yempenny full kuta de da. tititi wɔn de ebu man ansa na aborɔfo no ebedi yɛn so no ɛno na ɛsi ɛkɔfa.
Okay, so that is where we land.
Yes.
How do you know your father's work? How do we know what do we have as a history? What do
Yeah.
we have as a like a remnants of what you are saying? Because we keep
Yeah.
saying yen papa no mo yen nana no mo yen nana no mo yen nana no mo adesua no ye kofa no hefa.
Okay. And yeah, we are putting it into print right now. I'm working with a group of other African archaeologists to rewrite the history of who we were before. The complications I want to say. That time, there was no Ghana, there was no Gold Coast, there was no. There were kingdoms. There were Ewe land. There was Guan land. There was a Dagbon kingdom, and so those are the kind of history that we have. So the problem is, how do we now integrate that into this colonial territory that we call Ghana today? So that is what is making the situation complex, because there are certain history that is very unique, for instance, to Ewe land, certain history that is unique to Dagbon land, certain history that is unique to Guan land. So how do you the way to integrate this together and know to see idea to make sure say this will come out. Otherwise we'll have to say that let's go back to being the way we were. That is the problem, because the whole of continent of Africa now they were divided into five major territories with a lot of empires. Until now, the whole of northern Africa was the Carthage Empire, and then the whole of and then there was the Egyptian Empire. Egypt, it is not just that country we have as Egypt today. Egypt included areas with Somalia, Tanzania, Kenya, those areas, and then we had the Sudan. So the Sudan has been split into two. There is Eastern Sudan and Western Sudan. West Africa, all of West Africa was Western Sudan. And even cry in secondary school, cry no, Western Sudan. And then Eastern Sudan. Then there's Nubian Empire. Nubian Empire is like Central Africa. And then Zambezi Empire was all of South Africa and
Oh,
Congo. So there was also the Congo Empire. And now this was who we were. And then there were the emperors. The emperors, they were not people who were oppressive. They were like coordinators of the kingdoms, the territories in the kingdoms, to coordinate trade with each other. Arabs, Arabs in the around the 11th century, they came to destabilize what we had, because, as a matter of fact, believe it or not, now Africa, the most part of Africa was a Christian continent. Most part of Africa was a Christian continent.
okay.
It's very there in our history, is something that we are working now to bring it about for people to come into publication, God willing, very soon.
Which is
NT,
the African archaeologists and the
yeah, and
historians and
historians,
all and the
yeah,
researchers putting this thing together. My question to you is that, individually, people has come outside Africa, learned something, trying to individually in their small ways, trying to bring it back to the continent. Are the people there right now the slave incarnators, the slave incarnation that we have there in color of black people? For example, the power that oppresses and also dismisses anything that is will be good for African. Will they allow such teachings for a Ghana man or African man to be free? Will they allow it, or will they go back? Because Kwame Nkrumah has tried it before. Even Gaddafi, many of African leaders
leaders,
came
yeah,
something, and
Lumumba,
our
and all
own
those people.
people, our own people, gone run back to the white man and say, we saw it with JP Dankwa. No, is it? No.
JB Dankwa,
Yeah,
Akufo-Addo
David
papa.
with
Omo. Yeah,
when
yeah.
Kwame Nkrumah, you see, I spoke about certain people not believing, say, oh, we are Ghana for, they think, say, they are the elite. And then, bingo, I found a video of Akufo-Addo Nana, Sir John, we, finance minister, Nana,
Oforiata.
of Saforiata,
Mm,
wearing in those days, so wearing
yeah,
the queen's crown,
yeah,
speaking the accent of the white man.
yeah.
So these people never wanted African man to be free, and there are many of them.
That be.
Will they allow you, as a researcher in a who came to learn the truth? Will they allow you to bring this to the educational to our education system?
Mame ma example back. Lady back on BBC. Ne papa is Somalia. Ono any Yankasa Yenipa Kwamla Dumo. So I found some information that they were working on. So I've been corresponding with them before. Now, already most of those information they put it actually on BBC documentaries. They did a lot of documentaries from those research. Now, when him said Kwamina Duma was suddenly he died. They say he had an accident and he died because Kwamina Duma wanted to go further than they will allow them to. Zainab, on the other hand, kind of like was very diplomatic, so she didn't want to push too much. But at least she gave the basic information that points to the fact that Africa, we were somebody before these people came. But Kwamra Duma wanted to push further. I feel the encotia when you accident free, papa, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But me assure say this year the trend is changing because and then we call Europe, we America. Now we got some of the top schools. Africans are performing very well in those schools.
Yes.
A time will come, we are going to take back what belongs to us.
Where in Africa?
Huh?
In Africa, because black people are taking what belongs to them gradually in the West.
Gradually, yes. And
Will we be able?
Africans, because and then share and only idea meant yes, and then African Americans, Jamaicans, Bima Wumfi Canada, one more Ghana, one more to Asase, one more drafo. Today they are exporting their produce to sell outside. And so Ghana for your Ghana see a bread. So, my question is, how is it possible, say? Obi a ne nana na ɔyɛ Ghana ni nanso ɛnɛ ne nana no yɛahyɛpo wɔn akɔ the other part of the world ɛnso ɛnɛ wɔhunu n'akyi sɛ me nana no wɔn kurom ni ana wasan aba abɛtɔ asase ayɛ asase no so adwuma ama asase no enu baeɛ ayɛ mfrɔmfrɔm ama n'atumi atɔn ɛwɔ aburokyire na yɛn efiefoɔ asasefoɔ yɛte hɔ sɛ yɛbrɛ. I don't understand that.
That's where I come in. Until we find policies that work for the African man.
So
Enye ye, ese yen so yakwa obi a wagimi sene yen because obroni a discover obi a wagimi sene omo. And now wakosisa awon waba because we Africans be able to, we need to come up with policies. We need to recognize ourselves rather
yeah,
than the stranger. No, we
yeah,
need to see a stranger as a stranger. We are not one. So
that's it.
how do we are not one? We need to be able to identify. There need to be policies. There need to be tools.
Yeah.
There need to be resources that identify a sick person. And yes, I hear because as I said, no, say, yeah, power was something yen dear.
Yeah, kasa ya ho. Wow.
Aha.
And ni nyinaa no, and ka brainwashing na because anya Ghana nko a, it is there in Kenya, it is there in
Yeah.
Tanzania. And wohwe most of Africa the way the colonial spirit na wo de abɛhyɛ yɛn so no, adidi yɛn mu ama sabio yɛ jimi. So ho. And no kan but the idea man who say the now the realization is coming. Say we have to grow ourselves out of that oppressive mentality,
Yes.
so that we can do better. because young crow for ya you do more to so you say politicians obe mouth no vote a man. Why? Because and then ye pendia ye be din in there. That's why we are suffering. We are not
Yes.
thinking about improving ourselves, therefore improving the country. Ye pendia ye be di ene. Sabio platform ye was yeah share information to help people cry to be able to find some ways that they can come overseas to work on. So you can see some of the fruits of what we are talking about.
Yes, I can
So
see it.
I
Because
want
we are
you
talking
to do
about,
everything for them.
yeah, yeah.
So we
And I
want you
even
to
here,
give them
even
every single information. We're giving you the information. Work on it. Dig it out. Find out. Research and see what is required, and then take the necessary steps. No, they want us to do it all for them. So
yeah,
why? Because that is precisely the kind of oppressive mentality, so that we become dependent always on the oppressor. So
yeah,
without the oppressor giving us what we need, no, we don't know what to do.
yeah,
We feel helpless.
yeah. A
But
lot.
nyasana yenyankopon de amayen no, we have to use it. Because if you don't use it, somebody else will use theirs to oppress you.
Yeah, even
Well,
Krapo Ehanomo, we are learning something very, very valuable way. Information is being given out. Sanka
yeah.
meba and amid immigration way too. So anka obehu.
Mhm.
People always want where Africa for. We don't want to do things on our own. So by the way we can get our independence back is by addressing and also beginning to know what is not good for you. How do you know your father's way? And a preacher, I'm quoting. Obey then when who papa ejuma die, o papa enhyehyeye. Jesus ba be ye ne papa we ne ono ne papa osuma no obetoa na ejuma so. How do we know our ancestral will of way, their goals and their motives, and how do we identify that? Is by knowing what is not good and knowing the tenets of God, which is the law of this universe. What is good for the goose is good for the geese, and I yes, I can
Yeah.
the for the Ghana, and also be able to see yourself as you deserve more because and the Ghana ni atoto ne ho fam o Ghana ni enyi ne ho ntum. Itiama is
David,
very difficult to you see it on a platform, even a animal. You see, our Nana Abebio is participating. Our sister, all the wisdom, the wise people, people who are willing to learn, people who are ready to receive, it gets to them. Sanka meba na mede we ma nkonkonsa de plaf we be to so anka you see the eno a wen hu we
aye.
amount of over 100 almost 200 people. So it is such character
Mm,
building that we
yeah,
lack so
yeah,
much na yama nkrofo di and so with
yeah,
their flattering words instead of you
yeah,
learning say no vote
yeah,
for your future.
yeah, yeah. Because one said a governance, is about improving ourselves and therefore improving our nation. Well, now a country is governed not by politicians. A country
Yes,
is governed by the people. Because
exactly.
subaya mukutano, sa subano, and amode elect nipa.
Yes,
So when you are corrupt, you are going to elect a corrupt person.
thank you,
Well,
thank you,
and
thank you.
the politicians that we have that are call themselves, the leaders of the country, they are a reflection of who we are as Ghanaians.
Yes, yes, and it's
Well,
true, it's
and
true. But people
we,
want to
we
elect
have to change
rich.
we have to change our attitude, our mentality and behavior.
Yes,
Because Obrana Chedian Ponyankopon Boade or the Mayan, he didn't create it for us just to chop on kwa. He created it for us to improve us. He gave us to us as a project to work on yourself, and thereby when we work on ourselves, then we also improve our environment and our nation. Because
yeah,
a insurance or the Mayan, he gave it to us on the assassin with the assassin and Yankopon the Mayan. Insurano a woman be brave because Osha, most of the Western countries know how did they develop? They developed by utilizing the resources of the land.
Doc, awareness, see, I really want to hear what you are saying, but your clip is back and forth. I think you, if it's okay, obey me and refresh
Dog.
it screen. Obey me
Wow.
and refresh
Well,
the screen.
I
We didn't hear anything you said. You were a bit glitchy.
oh, okay. So I was saying, sir, if you look at the nations, the history of the industrial nations today, their development came from agriculture. It came from utilizing the land. How they brought our people to work as slaves on their plantations.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, nano, and then when they came, they didn't teach them how to plant. Our people brought the knowledge because they knew that that's what we were doing back then. So they brought the knowledge to come and to work to till the land for this for their foreign enslavers, and then through that, the nations were able to develop. And therefore, once they saw abundance of food, they think, say, how can we process this food because we can't keep raw food? So they are thinking about
Doc, ONCC. So let me if it can be refreshed, if you can be refreshed, that would be very much appreciated. Uh Doc Wayno SC. He's gonna come back. It's here for just like Nana Kwame Boachi Abebu, or say modern day slavery is what it looks like today. The Bible also said it, or say Emre Bibedua mo asoɔden nti no mo bɛdwane akɔpa kyɛw sɛ slave no nea ɔslave yɛn no ɔnslave ɛnyɛ no na yɛyɛ yi ɛnɛ meso daeɛ bi menka ghanafoɔ meso daeɛ bi menka nanso ebesi nneɛma a esisi no ebesi ama wankasa wahu bi. People are crying for help. Paul Adumochire. You see, we get ourselves into a certain lifestyle beer. It becomes difficult to come out of it. Until we crack it to an meow. And that is what is happening to Paul Adumochire right now. Onyaya, you see, we have allowed ourselves to be used. And as we are used, the devil will always dump you. Come on. Seriously. So what you are saying? The devil will always dump you. So imagine say when you young a partner for you go and hunt all the time. Only me wo dem. Na samoko hunting after mako hunting akọ wiani ama na moko de bia na mo nya bioma. The next person, the aggressor no obe turning to you now because onim say eniama amoko wiani still a show dem ho. Now akọ hunting na se wanya bioma oba be wia. These are the laws of this universe. Eya asase we mmara. Ufa kwan we so a we na akwa shia ufa kwan utu mutai. The evil that men do, it goes after them. Africa is a reflection of who we are.
yes.
The politicians are a reflection of who we are. And no na we are cano or say we our when the people are ignorant, they will elect an ignorant leaders. Papa,
Exactly.
me pacho to asoma.
Aye. And ɛno ne yɛn problem a yɛkuta ɛwɔ Ghana. Mekɔ a conference be back in November, end of October, early November for Israel. Now, I have been going, but this time, no, something drew my attention. Me call Jericho for a part. The conference are divided in different places. Now, what really impressed me is that Israel is a desert country. One more say it's not. They don't have a fertile land,
So
but they are able to improve the land and to produce so much food that there's abundance of food in Israel. Unko Israel nkoka say accommodate me. Na yen man so sabi o ututa so cry be fifiri. So why are we sitting in Ghana saying say accommodate man why? I don't get it. Wabrakwa aduane ana ekuta oman. It is food. I didn't know Ghana, we import tomatoes and onions from Burkina Faso, a desert country. How? In Nkrumah, yeah, they import it from Togo. How? Banchi, and then Matis, yeah, imported banchi from China. And it Garina.
Yeah.
How? Aden, because Obroni, the Atuya Jimu said, adeɛ no a yɛ nananom ɔmo enslave ɔmo a ɔmbɛyɛ ma ɔmo a ɔmo kɔ anim no, it is not good for us, agriculture.
Yeah.
And you know, so who kasa wo koda, then you who there we are queen, they don't have any respect for you. But
Yeah.
America ha a government no respect to ɔmo papa.
Big
So
time.
the Department of Agriculture gives a lot of subsidies to farmers.
Yeah.
Because that is what keeps the country's fabric going.
Yeah.
Wow. And na Ghana nyame ahyira yɛn no. Insa si yɛbɛ hwɛ na yɛyɛ asase no ho adwuma na nhyira no aba no. Dabi yɛsɛe asase no, yɛde galamsey ɛsɛe asase no.
Yeah.
So then we'll end up importing food from outside.
Yeah.
Ɛbɛyɛ den ɛna ɔman mu ɛnyɛ den. Ɛnura na mehwɛ adeɛ bi, video bi, yɛ madamfo bi de ma na me. Or doctor, we jai ni medical practice, you know. A whole medical practitioner. We joined in medical practice and went into farming. Now he produces yams, cocoyam, coconut, and other plantations. Yeah, and he's been doing that now for almost 7 years now. And now with that, you know, he is able to open a hotel on his farm in Eastern region. So people go and sleep on his farm, in the hotel on his farm, and he quit his medical practice to do this. Near Tigana, near Siebre. So I don't understand that. Because of that, you know, since last year, and I've been thinking of doing, but I didn't want to leave something unfinished and then move. And it's taking me this time. But you see, I know I'm planning the end of this month, Krano.
I'm saying, you know, you're quite a medium percent media and sunny. So me copec away, me percent media flavors of drinks.
Different kind of drinks.
Yeah, different flavors of drinks.
Well, because if you look at history, Europe say, you know, my main country, I'll give you a little history about how the monarchy of Europe developed. It is through agriculture. Landowners, they put people on the land to farm. And then when they sell the produce, that's what brought them income. And so when you have a lot of income, you have power.
Yeah.
That was what generated the monarchy system to the extent said, yeah, I was given the history about what it means to be a country. A country is not a nation. In Ghana, no, we are not a nation. Because when you look at the system of land governance, no, there is the Lord, there is the Earl, there is the Count or Countess. So, then there's the Knight. The Knights are those who guard the property. Now, the Count, you know, the Count is the person in charge of counting all the workers on the land and levying taxes on them, because when you work on the land, you are supposed to pay a certain tax back to the owner of the land.
Okay, which is the revenue, Canada, and immigration.
And you know, the count is the person responsible for collecting all those taxes. So the area that a count is in charge of is called a country.
Oh,
not a nation. Well, the organization called United Nations. It didn't say United Countries. It said United Nations. And who are in charge of that? Not us. It is the nations, because Woko France, they are a nation. How are they a nation? Because they are who they are. They call themselves by who they are. They are French. They call them their country their land France, and they speak their language. If you go to Germany, they are Germans, they speak German. You go to Italy, they are Italians, they speak Italian. You come to Africa, what do we speak? We speak their language.
So we are a country.
We are not a nation because we are not who we are supposed to be.
B. Oh,
So,
oh, even when you are speaking tree, now obi wa uyonko ba ma akai will say, hey,
aye,
kabrofo.
aye.
Onipa make obron. So when are we going to start selling our things
Now,
instead of
China, woman ka brofo ho, woman ka omukrum kasa, woman ka Chinese, Korea, woman ka Korean, yanka brofo. So, they speak their own language.
yes,
But yanka kasa. And you know, our ancestors, the they say they don't believe in spiritual. The universe is filled with spiritual
spirit.
network.
Yes,
When you lose your identity, you also lose your spiritual network.
yes, I believe that.
And you know, we have to see yes sign near kofa. It has become my foundational philosophy. So I see a sign near kofa ye submaya ye nananum the ball bransana a hunter for no ever say we have to recapture it. In here, I know
Into
that
God.
1 year tumpon.
So this, in the whole nutshell, we've lost our spiritual backup.
Correct.
Because we lost our language, and that's the truth. Because
Yeah.
the many languages in Ghana right now are not respected by the borders of Ghana.
Baby.
I beni pese on peso besuya chi. I beni peso bes and a pepe ninsum peso obesuya e kasa and a tree ninso say mediana eye e kukuda. They don't understand the fragmentations are these languages, you know, accurate, because look at how marketing works. How language prevails and grows is by the one with the purchasing power. So me person me kwa ohia biribi wo me ho a na se me person me de sa de kodie ne be chewo a ese se me ton ma wo nti se wo na wo beto ade we wo me nchen a ope ese se wo de me kasa e beto na menya wo ho faso mienu e kasa no ese se me ma wo bi hwe ti o e kromo look at the amount of that area is a big opportunity for job creation. Also interpretation word interpreters, schools, immigration. The government invests so much in everything about human business. Ghana ya yera yen kasa. Do you think we can be one? Maybe I'm saying yen che Ghana. As I say, ye twa border. It was a northern for no kwa Asante region for na mo brana Ghana yen chemiensa na yen ne te se ekuromo ha de no na yen pe president no ampo because
asema wo kan no share Europe share Europe. Okay, share Europe. Look at how small they are. How many nations are there in Europe? So so make I say bra away for no one person will kabum. They wanted to go back to the way they were before they go in by for away land. United Nations refused to recognize them. Almost say no. Why? They want to keep us divided and to be having the confusion.
Yes.
Because they are very much aware. Say the moment Noah Yaka say we should go back to the way now ubia in native land and language, you know, they will lose us. They will lose control over us. Woman himself. And you know, they don't want that. They want to keep us divided. And you know, they split the nations into small partitions. And boom. To create all these territories. Because Woka said, me beni na Woka said way Asantini and away and Zemani and away it has become a Tower of Babel situation.
Yeah.
It's confusion.
A lot.
And they knew that, and they strategically did that to keep us confused continuously. Intermediate, into East Africa, no, one created one language, Swahili.
Yeah.
Swahu.
And that's you have to say one language or yenchum.
Swahu. Yeah.
And before yani a clapping for no one, guans.
Yeah, Guans. So
Infante.
come together, let the airways be together, because Usha Airway is stretching. Yeah, a stretchy free Volta, the most southern part of Togo, Benin, to western Nigeria. Wow, Ewe land, it was a very big empire before. So Ewe land used to be a very big empire. Dagbon used to be a very big empire. So now Sabi, I'm not trying to say anything to create any problem. Now Asante Empire, Krana, they were not an empire. So Obroni ne ba no, ana obe create his idea.
Empire, because of the gold, people need to understand that.
I know this idea.
People think say, and so it's okay. That is your strength. Yeah. Keep it. One selecting more president because and perform say at a mill because of John Muhammad Empire crusade. Yan penny only. Yeah. Some of the people prima pepeni madi so ama eno ho prayer camp say yes say Ghana sika.
Yeah.
Say Ghana ni banko bompa say pepeni medi wo so. Mini anu no. Tete no na ye mu ye chiche ye mu. Muma ye nche ye mu. Yan ni omo ayeka no. Infante ekuapem ekropon mente imunya infante fo ene it's just a south central and we because not but that way look at Ottawa and Quebec just in Siokeke. But when Independence Day, when Canada Day is happening, I was surprised. Hey, I am in Ottawa. I crossed the bridge, me back to the other side because of rent. We air for Quebec side. Now me call Ottawa. Hey, celebration. Every so demonstration with the same bridge and also. Ontario gives free away transportation. The whole city is free transportation. When I move, every store is closed. No grocery store, no government. Hey, after me no back. Grocery store open. A French funny to what he said here because French funny and English man never deep bonnet. French funny they've been asking to be independent.
Yeah.
But because they have their own elected government appointees, it's working out. But they still want it. They don't want to celebrate anything with the Ontarians. Ghana should have the same thing. Fine. The only people I'm meeting me back here.
And Nona Kwame Nkrumah, that was one of the reasons for the African Union. Because Kwame Nkrumah's idea was to dismantle the artificial territory now Abrofuna be creating. That was one of the mindset for Kwame, to dismantle all of that, and then to reunite all of Africa. Because with idea, he knew the history of the continent before Brunei Baye.
Yeah.
So he set up what we call the Bureau of Ghana Languages, so that will be developed. Then you have your own province. Now, he wanted to actually create something like provinces, self-governing provinces. So that was the idea. But not UGC for no 1 month peninsula. So and then Ninyanaka will be now or free UGCC CPP, because he wanted to move the Ghanaian people or the Gold Coastal people ahead and to create self-governing states. So he gave an example of development by building Tema, the city of Tema. This is the sample of development I want each region to take to create its own self as a province.
Yeah, as a province.
As a province to govern themselves.
Ghana for reflect. Let me show you something. Let me show what we are talking about.
Enemy babe prove ya chiro de nti akufa. Mamenka will say nipa awo kase yes oforia the second.
Shade.
Bra.
We
Who have video no ahweche no a ehye papa no awo kasa no hweche ni di me babe kan sama chiro. Ko na hwe video.
Yeah. Na
the podcast no
biribi say ya no. Ene grebi ya ye giri se. Biribi ya beba enkrama mu no. Ya ha no enduru ya feda.
Shasema okay o. That time no na Kwame Nkrumah abeje fa nhudi ama Ghana from Obroni nsa. Se oforia tase ompene wakofa broni. Eha no mu na JB Dankwa omo turning against Nkrumah no. Hweche na ehye papa no. Enye queen in China. So there are people who are really they have this excessive compulsive disorders, thinking they are non-Ghanaians. Or Jini Hoodies,
Yeah.
This
and when United is part of the plot of the Europeans to keep us divided and continuously control.
And our people allowed it. This man
because they are promising them, say, if you follow our plan, we will help you to do this. Entina your friend saying Papa ya watisui entina sabi yo Jimmy Sama elkosu because he has been promised protection.
Or Ghana for no and nothing otimi ba ya only during the Kufuor time and the SAR for no Central Philolomi akpa. How can Ghanaians be voting all the time and then in your era alone you just cut them so when you
cut them off? They cannot vote. Yeah.
How?
No, because almost one month. You see?
They were put into a room and were groomed to think they are non-Ghanaians. Eti opapeni JP Dankwa na pampemu apa oti hono. Ena Ekufuor nana oni Ekufuor nana ni o wa unhu no no. When we chene ehye no. And you Queen Elizabeth chene ehye no.
Queen Elizabeth. It's in America say. British for no woman be here a empire seminal.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Doc, what you tie name bro for no cano. Let me take it and just listen
to government. And it was a shock and surprise to me and my state for announcing that my statutory recognition has been revoked.
Can you tell me what legal authority you still possess as a paramount chief?
Well, from time immemorial, I exercise all powers in deciding minor criminal cases, land cases.
We ASF ofori ata onie. We ASF we mo and a Ghana man yam papa Kwame Nkrumah within just a short time. Look at what this man did. So imagine if this continued, if it were to continue. Anka Doc. Anka Ghana is not Anka Ghana Filipino for ba ya juma mama say papa omo yen busiafo no eno na your friend legacy anka sem na ahwedefo no ye wo the ajalocals we yen brand oko US me say oko alcohol store brand
brands
farm ewo
yeah so different brand me just say mama about two into no me pon kakra. But my cast may try to understand.
Yeah.
Minianum Ghana for a woman say, yeah, you perceive a boy now more to me a ban. I took Quanya ban or many opportunities now. But Miss Ramwara, so who could have opportunity for student visa? Men castle, I mean, your student visa now may barbe pay Jumaya. Develop yourself, improve yourself, use that opportunity with student visa and study. Ekrumha na me hospital na me adwuma as a director of ancillary services na muhwe Nigeria for Cameroon for we nurses, nursing supervisors, near the Osha Ghana for or your Juma or kitchen or your nursing assistant. And I said, how? Why don't you go back to school, improve yourself, and that way you have more personal value, and then you can get your values worth. Oh, yeah, I won't say hours, you know. Here's Kadia Kosi down with you. And
pressure.
don't think about what you can have. Think about how you can grow. Because anything you're boy to grow and to develop the universe. That is why other countries are developing, but
Yes.
we are not. Because we
Yeah.
are constantly thinking of what we can have rather than how we can grow.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to go from being self-centered to development centered, and yet consumer centered. We are consumer centered. You will never develop, and things
Yes.
will never get better for you.
Yes.
Instead, become development centered. Develop
Yes.
yourselves, add value to who you are, and then everything that you need will naturally come to you. Enti
Yes.
Mr. Mwara, ana mo nso a mowɔ fie no, ɛnyɛ by force sɛ ɛsɛ obiara ba aburukyire bɛyɛ adwuma. Ɔbɔ adeɛ ehyira yɛn yɛwɔ asase from a yɛbɛtumi ayi so. School a mekɔɔyɛ no, mekɔ seminary wɔ ɛgye so ansa na meba aburukyire. Yɛwɔ seminary hɔ no, adɔ a yɛdɔ yɛnyɛ adɔ ketewa. Abɛ, ankaa, coconut ne ade. Ɛnna no mekɔɔyɛ no, ankaa yɛ bu a epuro gu fam a ɛsɛe kwa.
Oh, we don't have a factory.
I say kwa. Why? Kama kura mo de kɔ hospitals kura ɛho wɔ mfasoɔ because
Oh, schools in the yes, who near the
well, secondary schools wɔ hɔ mo nkɔ kyekyɛ ma wɔn daabi egu hɔ ɛna ɛsɛe ɛna medwuma me say enti how say wobɛtumi atena Ghana ka sɛ Ghana ɛɛden ɔbrɛkɔ a aduane ɛsɛe I don't get it.
Yeah.
Enti asase no Awurade ahyira yɛn
Yeah.
ɛma yɛn yusu so we are kuani it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Let's not have that mentality that we are kuania is a low kind of a because secret a war or Brahmo said when you lower yourself to do the basic things, God lifts you up because it is the basic things that develops to become what is great. Entimeno next Yami Aduma Busumi Ebe me Buffy me Babe Pamasasi.
You know, Doc, Kwana Memra, why?
I may call no waba ni enye adwuma ye wadwuma ye
do Ghana say pre member
nti Ghana mi nua no
yes oh hifa yes oh ko
ha
yes oh ko hi
me baby ame ko no menka
oh doc because of that na say hospital
oh me kokofro dua
kofori oh I want to
yeah me kokofro dua ai
oh
yeah
or New York, US or
you're Washington.
Yeah. Well, Shalom. Ghana for my baby will be my so doma.
Oh.
Yami Shiramo, Papa.
I see a cornea ye man.
Aye, na yes, uncle perfect for
me na ombe ya adwene mu na ehu se enye sika anane ebedi no ene ede bobra but se wo ankasa wo betumpon wo tumpon wa brabo mu eno na ede enhira ene nkonim ene mpontu eba me da mu nyina ase me da ase so abahema se wa tum sa fra me na ya bedi nkuta ho awie ya me nhira ye nyina
ya me nhira ba we are Dr. Sogah we anthropologist. He is an anthropologist. Omo no mo ye nhwehwemu omo ba ba niam mo mo fifi funu ani because omo nsuro funu ose ne yete omu no esose ne ewo wiase nyankopon nhira doctor say wa be kan yan wa be kire ye niam from the beginning or the yen call yen papa yen tete yen tete. Thank you for sharing nana ko bia mun share video no ne nko akire. You guys are doing mun ko akire because these are some of the teachings we need. Yeba building yourself up through these platforms and also through such information. Yeba big things. Yeba be expert. I feel way a aggressive year. Yeba claim by force. Minya tinagana ne yenda da I was saying yankupo ni ho. Na one kasa beje will go. The very same thing. Modi di agrono. Eno no broni. Yadi nyamesoma yesisa agro patakari adoso doesn't mean patakari no car is the most dangerous thing on the road, but it doesn't mean say in the hands of a crazy person the car will kill a lot of people. But you are very smart, a good person, you need to learn. Don't just be afraid of a car. What was so to me and what the car can do and what the car cannot do. When I would direct a car, what was a car as a woman now got tonight? Now would Christy and no car, you would never know. And no name is some more Ghana. Mama Yankopon as some ayakwa and Utimuncha Munsio, the very nature thing. Whoever don't believe in God does not respect the Niyama Waye, and no, it's a reflection of what Ghana is. Ghana for Bunja ye, because you're the Niyama Yamway, Wafayao, Obiama, away. Obi account Asha will come be Wafayao. Be very careful because don't joke with spiritual things. Ghana for Mayama spirit, any panel. It just we don't learn. We don't want to learn. This is a platform. The laws are Nyamesam Walon. Nyamesam Walon Ekromwa, they give you opportunity to give. Hemi tax ekura obi aji welfare. Obi oji welfare no make me sika oji bi me adwuma. That means to say my donate. Me donation a show bi wa ha e hwa yarefuo. Me donation e hwa nkola a omo ma me no hwa omo. Me donation e hwa omo a emema edi omo so aye omo bone e wo koromu ha Ghana for mema mo musua mo papa no ma de kire na mo nsua papa mfiri mu no mo bebre wo koromu ha no mo enti madwuma ete say pie me paycheck no ma ye ne pie e no obroni achiche mu say no odi half kwa ha no odi quarter kwa ha no odi emu we ekokokoko ma bi ma me e koromu ha the law no me ka chose de bi me te adwuma e na abayiwa wo obroni 100 de bon say I'm sure it would be around $4,000 to $5,000. Ghana ni na hu yanko beka say yeah radi yanko pone. Uni na de beto ho ma meboa. O ma me sama o papa sama na na sama na de beto ho. Why adwuma bi? It was on the grounds of where people work. Ghana ni be Ghana osofo mua e de bedi adanse wa so dem. So come ko hu sika wa adware. What the corruption? We are corrupt. The environment has made us corrupt. Obroni we who sikano on the by office ho but Ghana ni corrupt means na me corrupt. I'll tell you the truth. Say na makoma nye. But this act a testing. When him how it tested me. Sikane ba ye no. Na me pay for ni jam see ye we dey ye better maybe se na ma adwene eko. Say na ekro mu hambra. No. E say ye fra police. Na police be gi sikane ye ko to save no. Omo nka so mo hwe me ni no. Yeah, corrupt. Maybe I make kura me say matena ha me you right me upright and marana tete me no say na kakere bi she ho. So oh yeah, it is good to recognize and acknowledge it until you come, until the test come. On me obi o say me dem nya bone we your buru sama nankasa we ye nyina ye bone until say you are tested. Obi ka ade we de bi ntimi nya da o bua yeah true I test him say enupo na ye de be ye wo mo wanya wo enukura na ye be de e ba kura wo wo beti wani na wa fall wo beti wani wa fall me nuanom when nyina ye nyamesam e kire e de ade which book does your mama teach you an answer story no we ye nyamesam into all this sika ne ba ye no maybe see na ma adwene me ko da ni mu ho and I make up on pine say radi akopon say na ma pro say na ma say asem make me say you akete na me nko lunch during the afternoon na me pie ya ko tena me kem na ensure kakra bi to am for 100 say ni bio note we bi this note Ghana ni na hu yanka ne ho ohienti hu be popo se teta na ebo hu say I'm say about $3,000 no I was saying, Sheila, that's why I can never say never. Sheila, we are right. It's yeah, no, and near maybe say at you see how I passed, my passing through this. Do you think so? Who's Kebia? I will ever say nothing now money matter for family. Did that be me call money matter for test ni be young family? I am say nothing I am family because only answer me. Yeah,
for stress,
that be money matter for them person because yeah, agent ni be one be free sika. Omo ye me test bi say me hu sika wa monten a me hefa na me de be come me say oh me de be come enu na efeli me e say no a because abayuwa obroni abayuwa ehu 100 na nsi oto epetinti na sika no ho for kakra oh me say wo Ghana ni anka wo didi osofo be fe sika no
na me to sika hu me ho me fa me
drive na me hu $5 me drive na me hu $5 me stop cars ni na ko tam $5 yeah corrupt. You can argue with me, but this is corruptness. So the entire country is suffering from poor leadership disease. All of us have sinned. That is why we have short of glory of God. Shalom. Would you say me oba e Canada amawo? Me pacho mo amowo ema no me say abrantie bi wa ha oye fine. Me po Obama. Oye hard worker. Me come answer won so say. Oye shalom. Unka guy or nana ye asem nanu ye asori pa ye nyam we preaching ama ye nyam amanfo don't joke what you say Dr. Sogah. These are some of the things we are going to talk about, and it boils down to politics. Hey it's politics and ka woko airport and ka obi an check in. We are political country, but we have politicers and politicasters. May God bless you. Share the video and let your brother or sister also get a hold on it. Yeah, I'm on my platform, so there are so many things coming for you. Minya, build yourself up. Open account, be a bank account. Fasika toku, a drop of water makes a mighty ocean. Fatoku kotu. Oti adie bi wa ha me se koho. Say you see Israel per car sticker koho. Uwo passport to kwan. Nenya experience ni bi. Ye fuo do unye sika kasi because Ghana kwan ni nye it won't mean massive production. But when you to kwan akwantu no ye bedi hu komo pa. May God bless you all. Wa wo hwe me biara ye bedi komo wo platforms so. The people I have gotten in contact with and the information they are giving me, there is hope on the mountain.
Amen.
May God bless you all.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Praise the Lord.
You see, someone who don't let anybody accommodate no or sorry them or pediani. Yeah, sorry, or so you will never beg, nor would you go hungry.
No.
Now, the same as some you did that are gonna for because of a true 4D4. Now, one pair, Juma, an active person, a very vibrant, someone who's a leader, they will create that's a 2 million power. Montia see and nothing no brony, a pair, Juma, yes, I'll be bonnet. It is a grada when you're more grada, and Ghana was pregnant with a lot of agrada. Many people at some time in the 80s and when you're to sanka memma, omunya coco down for a police officer say it's almost almost a prophets. Now, prophet, a yin say Ghana Yemoye, and a yawo prophets to Ghana. What are you complaining about? If you really want to give birth to a different thing, you need to nurture your belly to give birth to that thing. Ghana need to be nurtured to give birth to hard workers. We have counselors, we have social workers, we have motivational speakers. So many people, and now almost the body counseling, almost counseling. And then beside was a prophet, you know, many people almost so good speakers. I sanka obofo kasa me did that be me obofo way say or you motivate or you be or your counselor when the guy speaks that but and Ghana say or you then obofo ye be wo obofo na mamosa mo nya physical people
Amen.
Money spirit never.
Amen.
Yamin should have working now.
Amen.
Aha, pastor's
If I
wife.
can
I'm not a
fix
pastor's
my
wife. Me a pastor
well
like us. May God bless
I
you.
am this paper. You won't go give me five.
I didn't get your contact.
I
Oh,
can
Abigail.
If
Go
I
on
can
my
fix
page.
my
Why?
well
Abigail,
body.
it's on my page. May they will contact in my brand or flow. You better to get ready. You better build it well. I mean, sure.
Amen. Oh.